Welcome to all of you for another show, the sixth episode this season of AWA Agora. And today I am thrilled to have Shawn Basler, the co-CEO of Perkins Eastman. He's based here in New York, though he travels all over the world. I'm thrilled to have him here to join us in a conversation on international collaboration in architecture, a topic that's been very close to my heart for the past 18 or so years since I set up AWA Lighting Designers back in the early 2000s, where everybody wanted to work internationally. For us, as American firms and as New York firms, we started really kind of dabbling in those waters in the early 2000s to the mid 2000 before the crash happened. And then, of course, the dynamics changed. But there were a few people who, understood that being international did not just mean opening up an office. And those are the ones who actually thrived and prospered. Shawn Basler was able to figure that out very quickly. I am going to now hand over the mic to Shawn. Just a few quick words, if you would, Shawn, on what was the catalyst for you for working internationally, and welcome. It's good to see you, Shawn.
Good to see you, Abhay, and thanks for inviting me. It's really the collaboration that you have with people, the clients and consultants that you work with a really diverse group of people and have a lot of fun doing it. So that's what the catalyst was. It was fun. You could be creative, and you can see a lot of really cool places. Everybody says, "Well, what does it take to build an international practice?" And the first thing is you really got to like it. I mean, you have to love it. You have to. If you don't love it, don't do it. As a firm, we don't design buildings. We create places, and I think that how we've approached that as a firm is sort of in our guiding light. Is that we believe that the design really does have an impact on the people and the places we work, and I think that is really important when you work internationally too. You're not designing objects. You're not creating objects. You're really creating places, and you're developing the communities where you work, no matter what it is, whether it's an urban plan, whether it's a school, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a hotel. When we work in a new country, the inclination is always to not replicate, but contemporize some of the patterns and things that you see there, and you end up with this sort of pastiche on the buildings, and that's the wrong way to approach it. Again, about the designers bringing in and importing their ideas. It's really about learning and immersing yourself in the culture. Well, I think it depends on where you're working. One, you want to make sure that it's a client that you know, or has a track record, or you want to know, right? It's a client that it's not their first time doing this. I mean, here in the U.S., we all hesitate when there's a client that's never built a building before and you're going to work with them. Right? I think that's exponentially more risky overseas, right? When we work in a new country, the inclination is always to not replicate, but contemporize some of the patterns and things that you see there, and you end up with this sort of pastiche on the buildings, and that's the wrong way to approach it. I think that and that's the last thing that the people that are local want to see is a foreign architect coming in and putting a bunch of Islamic patterns all over it, or some other patterns and stuff. I think you have to be sensitive to the culture and having people that are from there. And understanding the history, I think, is so important. Understanding, I always say that every project should have a story, right? And if you start with a story, whether it's an urban space, whether it's a hotel, that there's a story to tell, and the story sort of unravels itself through the design and the journey of a person through the building. We really try to start each project by not only understanding the site and its context and opportunities and constraints, but what is the story and what are we trying to create there? And sometimes that's difficult in the places you work where it's nothing. It's a big blank piece of land and it desert or something. But I think there's always a story, and there's something that needs to be unique.